It's just a wee bit dirty, so it's gonna look pretty good though. Welcome back. Today we'll be doing brakes and wheel wells in the rear. Here we have everything we'll need for this brake refresh. We have new Acetone discs, new ceramic brake pads, also Acetone, and some Acetone brake hoses, a Bosch wear sensor, a little bit of new hardware. We have some paint for the wheel wells, brake caliper paint, brake cleaner, caliper rebuild kits, and we'll also be needing some red grease for rebuilding the calipers as well. With that being said, let's get on it and start taking this car apart. And here we have the brakes, how they look now. There's nothing wrong with them as such, and there's no excessive lip or anything, but they do look kind of bad, to put it mildly. Also, being that we'll need to paint this the OE looking color, kind of like you find on the rest of the car, we'll need to remove this shock here as well, and also the inner fenders. Here you can see the difference. This is the front that we did in a separate video, in a previous video, and it just looks a lot better and brighter. To remove the shocks though, we'll start from the top. And we'll just start with that one. And then with an 18, that one's loose, and that one's loose. That's 1 and 2. And for the inner fenders, clip 110 up here, a second one here, 3/8. Like this. Now for the other side, small clip in the bottom, a 10, and then an 8. And now we just need to take the brakes apart. I think I'll start with the brake lines. Oop. There. Install this right there. Good. Right around there. Still need the holder here. Easiest way is to simply unscrew the size 10 and we'll fish this through. And here as well, like this. Then fish it through. And then for the wear sensor. Good. Now we can finally start taking stuff apart. Pop these out. And then for a size 7. I like to remove these fully. And then let's see if we can remove it. Like this. And then finally for the holder here. Right here we can reach adjuster and then a size 6 for this. Let's see if it'll, yeah. Sometimes these really don't want to come off. With a little bit of luck, yep, like this. We'll leave this as is and move to the next side. like this. Good. And like this. Very nice. All right, with everything now taken apart, it's time we start beautifying stuff. That means we'll start with the inner wheel wells, painting those the same color as the rest of the underside of the car. I'm doing that because it's so cold outside that it will take several days for this paint here to dry. So this needs to be the first thing that we do. First, we'll just kind of clean it and then we'll go over it with some paint. And to not have the paint go everywhere we don't want it, we're just gonna cover the rest of the car, something along the lines of this. Then just some all-purpose cleaner. And then we'll just wipe it down in acetone. Like this. Good, now this is ready for paint. Then we'll just leave this to dry here for maybe a year, being it's so cold. But hopefully by the time we're done restoring the brakes, rebuilding the calipers, all that, it will have dried. Let's find out. We need to clean them and install new seals, paint them. First though, we need to remove these pistons here. I'll just blow some compressed air into them. No obvious scoring on this. How about this one? And no scoring on this one either. Good. These are at least reusable. Then let's remove this one. And a clip here. And now we have the bracket as well. This one we'll throw in the trash. Then this rubber seal. Like this. And then these here. Good. Do the same here. Now, I'm actually going to leave this in here like this for cleaning purposes. Seals, new of these, good. Then we just need to reuse these here, but other than that, I think everything's here. These are honestly super dirty. Maybe I should try and sandblast them. You know what? I think I'm just going to sandblast these and have them looking really nice. Now sandblasted, and the results is good enough that we at least can use a file to get the rest off and then paint it. So let's do that. The most important areas are where the brake pads can slide, or where they sit in, if you will. Good. Now we get it ready for paint. I like to use ear plugs to plug up the holes so that they don't get any paint in them. Okay, then we just need to paint it. And for that, I have brake caliper paint. Everything has been taped up so no paint will get where it isn't supposed to be. So I think now we're about ready to paint it. Let's see. This one could go there. And we're just going to give it 2 layers. No biggie. It's gonna look pretty good though. And then another light coat, and then we'll leave it to dry naturally. Okay, I think that's good for now. We'll leave it to dry and then get the fuck out of here before we choke on something. It's now painted and it's looking pretty good. We'll clean out these bores here and then we'll install the cleaned pistons as well. For that, we're just going to use some Scotch-Brite and some WD-40-like substance. Some brake cleaner. Some compressed air. And then for this one, good. Then we'll install the O-ring. Give it some grease, and not a whole lot honestly, but it does need a little bit. Grab a piston, add some to that as well. And here you really want it to go in straight. I find that using something like this is the easiest way. Yeah, now it's going in nice and easy. Good. Let's do the other one. There, this one here I can even push in like this. Good. Then we need to add this seal. You know what, let's push this piston out just a tiny bit. Something like that. We'll do the same with this for easier install. There. Then we push it in. And it seems to be in everywhere. And a new bleed screw. And then for these, you can use more or less any lubricant here. I like using this BMW lubricant. And then some silicone grease for the glide bushings. These here are also cleaned. Here we really just want the contact surfaces to have a little bit of grease. Obviously this would be sitting like this. And now we're ready to install them. Before we install this brake disc though, maybe we should make sure that this surface here is fully cleaned. Then we'll turn this fully in towards the differential. Now it's closing. Good. Fully in. We'll just grab this here. This will need a new screw, and I'll just add some grease to this to not have it seize. Then we just need to find the hole to actually be able to reach the adjustment screw right there. And we'll be now turning it away from the differential to get the parking shoes outwards. One thing I like to do is to just screw in 2 of these wheel bolts here, and then I can use a tire iron to check whether or not it's braking or not. Feels like it's having some resistance now. Let's see if it's actually braking. Yep. Then we need 10 clicks towards the differential. 1, 2, 5, 10. Good. And now it's not braking anymore. Good. We'll still need to do an adjustment inside the car, but for now this is good. Then we'll do the other side. First we'll turn it in towards the diff. Then for the brake disc, nine, 10. Good. With this here being dry, let's reinstall the fenders. Let's try some 400 grit sandpaper. So now it's a lot smoother, but doesn't look nearly as good. I think we need to paint this to have it looking good. MTN texture bumper spray, I think that'll look great on these. So let's just wipe it down with acetone and then we'll give it some bumper spray. Good. A lot better than before. These are done. This one is supposed to first, we'll grab this holder here and 2 bolts. One brake pad here, and then this one comes here. And then 30 Newton meters for these. And 60 Newton meters for these. And then for the brake hose, then we'll grab a size 14. Place this there. For this clip here, and a new retaining clip. Right here. And now we have brake fluid coming through here, so we'll just turn this off. There, now it should be closed. Pop in these. And then for the wear sensor. I don't actually have this clip here, but I have something else that we might be able to use. Let's try. Something like this, and then place this here. And bend this. Good. I think that'll work just fine. And then we'll just add a tiny bit of grease to where the pad has surface contact with this holder here. Grab the caliper, add a little bit of grease to this contact area here, and then we'll simply slide this on. We'll make sure this is opened so that once we connect this end, then it will slowly start dripping, and when it starts dripping from here, then we'll know that it is somewhat filled up with brake fluid. And then we'll see when it starts pouring from this, then we'll know brake fluid is coming through. And there it is. Good. And now it's time to bleed the brakes. We'll unscrew this. And then I have a very nice tool here we can use. Screw this on. Add this. And this here is filled with fresh brake fluid. We're just going to pump up the pressure, and then we'll open each of the rear bleed screws. Place this one here, off with this, size 9. Add a hose and crack it open. See, air coming through. Then we'll close this off and do the next side. Plenty of air. And closed. Good. Let's check the pedal. Oh, actually seems just fine, really. Then we'll bleed again, just to be sure. And there was a tiny bit of air, so good. Close off here, remove this, add this one right there. Now this side here is fully bled and rebuilt. And we'll check this one as well. Open. Very little. With the brakes now bled, it's time to actually install these shock absorbers. So here goes. Then we'll use this one here to pump it up. Then I'll crawl into the car from the top side and give it a few nuts. 1, 2. It's just a wee bit dirty, so we'll just wipe this down. One, 2, and then 100 Newton meters. Then for the upper ones, and finally, we're ready to adjust the handbrakes, which will be the final part. What we're going to do is we're simply going to tighten the 2 nuts inside at the handbrake lever until it at 2 clicks starts braking. 1 click, 2 click, clearly no braking going on. Then we'll tighten the screw until there actually is. Still no braking. See, now it's starting to brake. Good. Let's release the lever like this. 1 click. 2 clicks. Now you can even hear it. Good. That's one side. One click, no braking should be. It isn't, then we'll pull. Next click, it should be braking. Yep, it is. Then we'll just do like this. How does it feel? It feels good. Good. I think we're done. Let's take a look at what it looks like versus what it did look like. Cool. Very cool. This looks great. Much better than before, honestly. And here as well. Much better. Much better. Here you can see the bumper paint finish. Obviously it won't stay looking this good once you drive it, but it's still nice that this paint here, I can just always just kind of rub it down and then it will look good again, so I'm very satisfied. Let's slap some wheels on it and see how it looks behind the wheels. And here with the wheels on, this looks incredible. Don't mind the dirty wheels. We will restore them to an OE finish, but even still, this already looks a lot better. And here are the front ones. Alright, that's it for this video here. We managed to overhaul the wheel wells so that they match the front and the underside of the car. And we also managed to restore the brakes or rebuild the calipers, if you will. New discs, new pads, new wear sensor. Honestly, it looks amazing right now. It probably won't last because when I drive it, it will get dirty, but I really enjoy having it somewhat clean, and you can always go and wipe it down after you've driven a few trips if you want to. So I'm extremely satisfied with how it looks right now. If you found this video helpful or interesting, please consider liking or subscribing. Thank you for watching. Bye.